is a shell of some sort.
Are you on?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
Excuse me.
Turn this off.
Ooh, tea's gonna be too hot. So with tea being too hot.
There you go.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay. So welcome to episode 9.
This is episode 9.
Yeah, this is definitely episode 9. Like,
is...
I've been trying to keep track. I lost it at 6.
Yeah.
I got confidence at 7. I lost it at 8. So I'm inconsistent.
Yeah.
But
So
consistently inconsistent somewhat.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome to episode 9 of Why Are We Not Recording This? And yeah, it's just us two today.
Yeah.
Which somewhat feels like episode 5. It's almost like a deja vu. But at the same time, it's a bit different because in between there's different phases or different frequencies that we end up operating in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason why I chose frequencies as the word of choice this evening is because I guess for self, it's been an interesting week. I feel like there was loss of rhythm in between. And sorry, I just went straight into myself.
No, like, carry on. Yeah, honestly.
No. How are you? Yes. Yeah, it's us again. It's us two. Sorry, I just assumed. Yeah.
It's quiet.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's the two of us. This feels like a nice point of like check-in, not only with like how we are, but also with like how things are even going. Because in the space between like episode 1 and now, we've spoken to a whole lot of people and we've had a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's the two of us again, which is really nice. But yeah, not how am I? How are you? Tell me, go on with the frequencies because I think it's it's an interesting thing to talk about right now.
Well, yeah, I'll unload, even though I do have my hypothesis, and my hypothesis are snap. I don't have my rings. Sorry. I just looked at my fingers. They just looked naked. I thought, wait,
he doesn't
I feel
have
exposed.
his rings.
I don't know. Should we cut or should we continue? What are my rings? What is going on?
I think we just continue.
Okay.
There we go. You know, it's okay.
Yeah. I just needed to do a loop.
So you need to stretch your legs.
Yeah. I knew it was going to come around. Sorry. But yeah.
So that was a nice little visual interpretation of out of frequency with oneself.
The cyclical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You took a little loop around and came, you know. Yeah,
come back and feel like
how's
self
the
again.
week?
How's the week? So, you know what? Weirdly, I'm going to tie it in with doing this, what we're doing now, the podcast or whatever, the conversations of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we haven't had one in a while. And that was maybe a week or 2? But then no one knows that.
Yeah,
no one's going to know.
Damn it.
No one's going to know. But nah, I'm lying. But in a few days. So it's like, but we met up on Wednesday because remember you invited us. We came over to yours for dinner, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But then it felt like I haven't had the therapy in a while.
Of conversation.
Yeah. And I feel like I recharged from hanging out and seeing the homies.
Mm-hmm.
And coincidentally, you were in London this week, so I'm telling you business.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I feel like that amplified it. Like, remember the gift that I sent in the group chat? Like, just all of y'all planning about, we're going to link up in London. It's just me just kicking rocks on the train tracks. That was a summary.
Yeah. Okay, so context-wise, HQ, because we do this, and then I'm like, okay. Context-wise, Slan HQ.
Yeah.
What used to be Manchester.
Yeah, it was here basically for a few years.
A good few years. So there was like a couple of us. So what? There was 4 of us living in Manchester.
Yeah, let's say the HQ is determined by percentage of residents in that area.
In that area, that's how
we are
HQ.
everywhere.
Yeah, because so Slan is over different countries, so there's 9 of us, and we're all over the place. But for a while, Manchester was HQ. So 4 of us living in Manchester meant that anyone who's any more southern, anyone who's south to that, everyone's coming to Manchester. We're going to do an exhibition. It's probably going to be in Manchester. So people would come to Manchester, and that's where we'd all kind of link up. But now it's just the 2 of us who are still in Manchester. Yeah. Everyone else has flown the nest for more southern places. So everyone's living kind of predominantly in London.
Yeah. Just the south. Everyone's
in the south. It's like,
well, not everyone, because there are sorry, Miro, Will, sorry, we don't mean no offense, honestly. No, I know Birmingham, but like you're in between somewhere, just somewhere in between, but
so then me and Nate have been joking for a while about how everyone's making plans to do stuff in London, and it's just us.
Until it became you.
God damn it.
Until you became one of them.
Until for one day I went to London last week. I was like, hey guys, what do you want to do in London? And then you sent that GIF. The GIF game was strong. It's just that GIF of that guy just kicking rocks on the train track. It was...
Nothing seemed appropriate because I just thought, what does this feel like? You know what? I'm just kicking rocks. Just kicking rocks.
It was so funny.
But so I guess that ties... Well, some say every joke has a little bit of truth in it, and this is the little bit of truth in it, which is like, it felt like I didn't recharge. Not like, you know what? I do draw from the homies, like in terms of inspiration. Sometimes I do get stuck in this sort of bubble of just me doing this, but at the same time this week, that's why I felt like I lost it, because I felt like I was on autopilot without the productivity, and the productivity is somewhat subjective, but at the same time, as far as me, it goes with feeling good. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
It's like I did this, I feel good, but at the same time, I felt like I was just hitting targets. Not that I wasn't doing what I want, but I felt like I was used to doing what I want. But then this is where the other hiccup came in. The other hiccup is, well, this is a hypothesis. There's no firm ground. It's weird because it feels like I lost the rhythm when I stopped fasting.
Interesting.
Like whenever I then started to dabble with a little drinking here and there, with a little processed food here and there, I lost my feet.
Okay.
And weirdly, although I felt like I was on autopilot, there was an element of being really tired throughout the week.
Yep.
Everything just...
When did the fast stop again? When did you stop fasting?
I think last week.
Last week?
Well, the week before, actually. Sorry. I think it was the start.
So then...
Easter. Let's say Easter.
Okay.
It was, Easter.
So about a week, it's about a week ago. So this week has been like the trial week of you just resuming as... normal service. Service resumes, that's the one.
Somewhat. But like, I feel like I lost the rhythm coming back to normal. So,
in what kind of ways? Like, what do you mean by rhythm though? Like, what?
Okay, so basically, let's start off by saying I dabbled with a little wine. Cool. I passed out. Calm. Like what I mean by passed out, like I just mean like I was just laid up on the couch watching something. Actually, I think we recorded after that. We had an episode after that, so it basically just went downhill from there. So I haven't got a drinking problem. That's not what I'm referring to.
This man does not have a drinking problem.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I just mean like, because also.
And your body is not been used to that. So you had a month away from it, like totally. Coming back in and having a drink then, it just hits you way harder.
And then also I feel like, because then I also dabble with like, because for me, it's not a regular thing like biscuits, like sugary stuff. And I feel like I just kept crashing every time. I wasn't optimum. So everything, like even like brain frequencies or whatever, just everything was just like jumbled up. Even though it's like that's what I mean. In terms of what I plan to do or set out to do in the week or on the day, I was somewhat getting there. I feel like I'm going to say I was getting there, not necessarily nailing like I was before that. So it's like, wait, what happened? Was it the introduction of this? But then here's another coincidence. Oh, I'm jumbled up.
Carry on.
Here's the other coincidence.
I feel like this episode for us is going to be kind of like ironing out the inside of our brains a little bit.
True.
But then so it's going to maybe come across as like word vomit. But it's not like we're just trying to articulate some of the things that are running through the inside of the brain. So go crazy.
I've been jumbled up because obviously the things that were introduced this week in terms of, because obviously I've spent quite a bit reflecting on, okay, so what's been different? So, another one, I've been doing my workouts and then football. Remember, I think it was the very first episode when I was in Optimum and I was just off.
Yeah.
Here's a funny one. Last weekend I played, Sunday. Snap. I'm not trying to be that guy, but I was that guy. I was that guy on the pitch. Like even when I left, like some of the players were like, you know what, I guess you're man of the match this week. And I was like, yeah, that's
Did
what
you
I'm
get man of the
talking.
match?
Well, yeah, we talk about it well, not that talk about it deeply like that. It's like, when someone had a good game, like, nah, you know what, you couldn't miss today. You couldn't miss today. So like one of the dudes like, yeah, you know what, you took it to the day and you're like, you nailed it. So I was feeling myself and I'm thinking, you know what, fitness is paying off, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Guess what, this week, did I work out? Questionable. I did a couple of press-ups here and there, whatever. I was trying to get me back to rhythm, but it's like, and that's what I'm like, it's okay, you did a couple of press-ups, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, editing here and there, pass out like, damn, is this me? Once again, the spirit's like, no, it's cool, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, but it just kept, I felt like I just kept getting worse, not that I was drinking a lot, but it just meant like physically, I didn't feel optimum, but coming back to the football, it's like, I was feeling myself at the end. Like the last thing I remember before the spiral just got worse was feeling really good about myself.
Yeah.
So at the same time, it's like,
what happened between there and it's really hard to articulate sometimes. What happened between there being on a massive high and then starting the week?
Okay, so massive high. Start the week. It's Monday. Back to work. Obviously, I wasn't as sore as I normally would. Okay, and I think was I in the office? No, I was. I was in the office. Calm, regular stuff. Tuesday, regular stuff Monday, but then Monday is randoms.
Yeah.
So Monday is randoms day. So it's like, you know what? Actually, what did I end up doing? I ended up editing the episode that was uploaded. I think, one of the episodes for that week. Calm, everything's on point, and then. Message you like, you know what, we're gonna link up on that day, blah blah blah. But I'm already like I'm like, not that I'm keeping things in, but it's like I feel like I'm reacting to the things.
No, articulate that better.
Okay, I feel like I'm reacting to the things. It's like I'm behind my I'm on autopilot, whereby I'm not necessarily doing it with the intent that I normally would do the things with. That's where everything, because once again, it's like I was feeling good. It's randoms. I'm still talking about the game. I was on the phone too low on like maybe Monday or Tuesday. I'm telling it like, yo, this is what I did. This is what I did. I attempted a bicycle kick, and guess what? I missed it, but I was actually confident. I got up and like I did my thing. It was like, so like that's what I mean. That's how confident I was.
Yeah.
And I was just feeling myself. That's what I mean. So it's like even the random day was good. Kick back, reminisce about having a good game. Everything is intact. I'm grateful for everything. Everything is all good. Tuesday starts wobbling a little bit. Tuesday started wobbling a little bit. And then I thought, you know what? We're going to yours. Well, when I say started wobbling a bit, came back, was working from home.
Yeah.
I wasn't as productive as I normally would be. I didn't do my dailies. So that's when it started feeling like...
Yeah.
Something in
so you let yourself off the hook a little bit.
Yeah. So like that's what I mean. It's like I'm still riding the high though of having had a good game. So it's like at the same time, and then when I assess fitness wise, I'm like, no, I was in tip top shape. I didn't feel as tired. I'm not aching.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So the physical's good.
The physical's good.
Yeah.
Physical's confident. Next thing, okay. So I don't work out on the day. Calm. It is what it is. I accepted it. It's like, I know what, to be fair, I had a good game. It means your fitness is getting there. So no, we can, you can let today slide. And then also, once again, indulge in a little glass of wine. And like, because typically, like before fasting, that was kind of, just a glass of wine before bed. Calm. Had a glass of wine. I'm like, okay. Knocked out, woke up early hours. I was mid-exporting the episode because I'd finished once again. It's like I'd finished doing it, but I passed out as I was exporting it, wake up in the middle of the night, and then I started uploading to YouTube, and then I go to bed like 2 a.m., blah, 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 wake up. And then on the Wednesday, I'm like, you know what? It's cool. We're going to yours for dinner. I ain't gonna worry about that. Nothing, like, yes, it's out of the rhythm, but it's the homies Obviously, we go kick it, have dinner, calm, cool. Thursday, slump a little bit more. None of that. Did I wake up on time? Kind of think I woke up at like 8. And the upload for the episode was finished on like Thursday morning.
Morning. Yeah.
Thursday morning. So that's what I mean. I'm already.
Yeah.
Episode is supposed to be up on Tuesday.
Yeah. So now you feel behind.
Now I'm feeling even more, like way more behind than I was during the week. Because at the start of the week,
yeah. You said something about a bicycle kick before. I know that. I know that's got like some sort of flip involved in it.
Oh yeah. So you like.
So you've gone from one extreme to another, and it seems like kind of between Monday and Thursday, you kind of let yourself off the hook with a couple of things. It's not like a descent. It's just like a slow kind of like wobble.
Yeah.
But only when you pin that against your own standards, which on one hand is great. Like it's great to compare yourself with yourself. But on the other hand, like sometimes that's kind of like, I don't know where I stand on that actually. I think it's good to hold yourself to your own standards in a world that says like, no, be kinder to yourself and just, you can do that. If you want to have a drink, have another drink. It's fine. And that energy sometimes is not useful or helpful.
Yeah.
Go on.
See, that's where, coming back to my 3 news. Sorry, I dropped the M-bomb. And we've been doing very well without cursing or saying anything.
Yeah. Sorry. Come on.
But yeah, so coming back to them. Throughout the week, maybe until Wednesday, Spirit was like, nah, it's cool. Don't. Well, maybe I feel like it was a spirit. I could be wrong. But for some reason on Thursday, it just like, yo, what are we doing here? Yo,
you told yourself off on Thursday.
Like something was like, yo, it's Thursday. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, you ain't done. Well, not that you ain't done nothing, but it's like, yo, what is this? It's like, and then that's when I started thinking, yo, what the hell has happened to the week? I've got things to do, and the episode is only coming out on Thursday. This doesn't represent me. What is this?
Yeah.
And then that's when obviously the reflection then started, and then obviously, and then y'all were linking up. I'm like, yo, like, what is this? I haven't seen the homies. Now they're linking up, so now I'm kicking rocks on the GIF. So that's how we ended up on the GIF.
Yeah.
So at the same time, there's humor. I'm laughing at it, and that's when I came to understand, like, okay, you know what, we're having one of those weeks. And then going back to episode 1, actually, I did say to myself, you know what? I am allowed in terms of just like, I need to be nice to myself.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
If I'm not nice to myself, who will? And I do remember a conversation whereby I said, if I do meet at least 90% or like within the month, then 31 days, if I kept up with what I want to do or feel that way, at least 90% over that period, then it's okay. So yeah, I shot myself bail, and guess what? It's the end of the month. And so that was that little 10% that I kind of lost my rhythm and weirdly coincided with the HQ moving. And no, I'm joking. No. I'm not blaming you.
It's funny, but it's just this dirty little cherry on top of the cake of this week that has just been from listening to what you're saying, from your standards, not a week that you would class as being a successful week. Even though if you look at it for what it actually is, like this, recording this podcast, and the upload is supposed to be up on Tuesday, but it's not, it's up on Thursday. Like none of this is designed to, should have any stress on our week at all. If anything, like we're doing this is like extracurricular shit.
Yeah.
Like we work 9-5s, we do really creative stuff constantly. Some weeks we do more creative stuff than others. And then on top of that, we're doing this podcast too. And that's just like an added extra thing that we're doing. And we still got it up in that week. Like everything was still fine.
Yeah.
But I don't think we should be as harsh to ourselves mentally as we are. Especially when we're having just a very human week.
Yeah. Yeah. And no, but see, that's
it's a very normal sounding week, isn't it? Like,
yeah, no, like I completely agree. But I feel like this is where maybe my brain was digesting it. It's not necessarily saying it's a hindrance. It's not a hindrance. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, I don't want to say I need my fix.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay. When I say I need my fix, in the sense of, because I feel like, well, for me, it even became more apparent that, you know what, this is very therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
In the sense of, I get inspired from it and hearing like different perspectives and even just like conversating, and even the idea of doing something somewhat fuels me. So sometimes it's like whenever I'm lost in, I don't know, I don't even want to put it like that, because it could just have been the universal frequencies that were there at the end of this month, because those coincidences do happen and it's part of the human experience.
Yeah.
So no, like this doesn't, you know, like I wouldn't say it feels like something that we have to do.
No, but it's something that we love to do.
Yeah, and also
love is a funny little thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly.
It
can make you feel guilty. It can guilt trip you into certain things, and it's like
that's what I mean. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like not necessarily about this per se. It was just about self, but it can put this the similar thing. Going back to love is a funny thing in the sense of the spirit was like, "Yo, what are we doing here?" Like one immediate example is that episode was uploaded on Thursday. Like, it's okay, it's fine, but this is not what we set out to do, because this is another thing. It's like, yo, finish what you start. And there's a feel good that comes out of that. This is where this whole thing goes full circle. Is, did we actually attempt to make ourselves feel good this week? No, we didn't, because we didn't achieve what we set out to do.
Yeah.
So therefore...
However, okay, so did we make ourselves feel good? No, because we didn't set out to do the things we wanted to set out. But maybe what we needed that week was not to meet goals and not for the percentiles to percentile. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it was just to like eat good and just go and get some fresh air. And maybe it was to just move at a slightly different pace to what we've been moving at the whole time. And I say we because I can relate with the week also, but just from what you've been saying, maybe this week for you wasn't about having to rush to meet these goals.
That's true.
The thing is, that aren't even real. They're only real inside our own brains, which is great to have that. But if we don't meet them, we can't then punish the human body. Of course. Of course. But maybe you just needed to ride it on the high of this overhead,
of this
soccer
weird
ball kick situation that you did, and just let that fuel the week.
Oh yeah, can I also top it off before you tell me about yours? Because I feel like there's a funny coincidence in here, and because we haven't really spoken about it. So in the midst of being lost, I thought, you know what, since the frequencies are disturbed, let's push them a little further. Let's find out what this entails. Yeah. So frequencies are disturbed, I'm exploring, reflecting, but I'm still instigating. So one of my friends, Nathan, you know Nathan?
I know Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan. Yeah. So he recently...
Shout out Nathan.
Yeah, shout out Nathan. Good homie. So he recently got an apartment in Leeds. And then it's like, yo, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what, your own place, which is dope, happy for him. And then I'm like, yo, I'm going to come through. This was Friday night. Yeah. Like, yo, I'm going to drive up. Like, snap for real? Yeah, sweet. Decided to drive up to Leeds spontaneously. Yeah. Sorry, that was reflected. I had a moment. So drive up to Leeds. This was on Friday night. Boom, get to Leeds, see him, all good. And then like, yo, let's explore your area, because he doesn't know, I don't know it. Let's explore it. Like where should we go? Hit up a bar. People, why not? And so we did. Went to some bar, and before we leaving his, we had a glass each of prosecco, because I thought, pick something nice for the homie. It would be nice to crack something. So yeah, we did. So we cracked that, and then we went out. And then on the way out, we were also thinking, you know what, gonna get food. Yeah. Cool. I hadn't eaten. I was working all day. Cool. Start drinking. Calm. Fine.
The way I know this story spirals.
We keep drinking.
Yeah.
I got drunk.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Because you didn't say you ate food on this at all. Which is no. There you go.
Because then we thought, actually, you know what? They don't do food here. Let's just get food when we leave. when we were leaving, he was excited to show me a shortcut. Yeah. Because there's a place that he knows, like, I know where I am, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So we got absorbed into going through the shortcut and getting a quick time to his house. It actually took about 7 minutes, which was pretty dope. I didn't realize how drunk I was. Got to my head was spinning.
Because you have to kind of go to like a bathroom or something. You know, you just kind of sit in a bathroom and you just like, oh, okay, now I've got some sort of perspective on how wasted I am. Because the vibe of a bar does not allow you to think for 1 minute as to how drunk you actually are.
Until you step outside, like, wow.
like a new vibe needs to hit your face. A change in temperature needs to strike you, and then it's like, okay, I'm destroyed.
Yeah, I was literally seeing double, and I was so drunk. And unfortunately, going back to this drinking thing, I'm not really cut out for it like that no more. Because admittedly, I did throw up.
Sake.
It was not pretty.
It's not good. It's not good. It's funny, right? It's funny from my perspective.
Eaten, my stomach.
You were wasted.
I felt like my whole thing's just. I'm just
gonna
throw
a bit of toast, didn't it? Like just a bit of something. And this what you're saying right now, it colours in the week a little bit more. Alcohol.
Yeah.
It colours in how the week was so quickly able to not be in your control anymore. Because I know we're talking about, okay, so you're setting these are my invisible deadlines, this is the things I want to do. Yeah, that week for you was not a week of like, okay, now I need to hit all these goals. Because if you drink and you get that drunk, I feel like you're writing off a good few days. Even if you're not necessarily feeling hungover. So the next day you'll feel hungover, but then there's this cloud that follows you for like 2 days straight. Yeah. Wait, how did you word it then?
Mangled.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I mean. So since passing out, I've just been mangled the whole week.
Do you know what I mean?
And then at the end of the week, I'm like, no, it's just mangled this whole thing.
I can't believe this week was so, but yeah, because now I'm going to pepper in that little story, which I'm glad you peppered in. Yeah, that makes sense for the week, because alcohol is just, it's so funny at the time though, isn't it? But like, it will just destroy the week for you.
Yeah, no, it did.
And not even necessarily just destroying a week, which is like you're just feeling grotty all week. But like, if you're trying to get some stuff done, having a belly full of alcohol that's just running through your bloodstream for the next, I don't know how long. How long is it in your system for? I don't even know.
No, sorry for the noise. I'm sorry. I was just
right into the mic.
It was just.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
it was traumatic.
You can kind of write it off a little bit, which is very ironic because I was so drunk last night.
The rhythm has been off. What's going on? Alcohol, yeah.
Alcohol. Okay. Oh my God, this is an alcohol episode.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We were catching up, I swear.
Yeah. Where do I go first with the alcohol?
Yeah, how did you get here? How did you get to the alcohol? Let's take it from the top.
All right.
Oh, yeah, actually, you had a good week. You're in London, living it up. Sorry, I'm not hurt.
So my friends. Yeah, okay, so that's how last week ended. Wait, when was I in Milan then? This is where I'm at right now. I don't know, like I've lost every single day and date and like the timeline of events.
Frequencies.
You know, when you struggle to, I don't know if, right, my memory sucks. I have the worst memory ever. Like my memory is shocking. And so people remember like, oh yeah, that picture was taken in 2019 and this place. Those people terrify me. I feel that's absolutely terrifying because I don't recall any. Terrifying. If you're gonna say you can remember things like that.
Yeah, some things.
Oh, okay.
Not into too much detail, but if you show me a photo, I can kind of remember the year.
I would not be able to pinpoint a year at all. So like when I try and think back about the week, I don't really remember what the timeline of events have been because I feel like I just got back from Milan last week.
Because that's what I mean about not feeling like it's been a long time because we recorded in Milan. I feel like we recorded that on a Thursday.
We haven't recorded after though, have we?
No, we haven't.
Right, okay.
We recorded Milan on a Thursday.
Right. You came over on a Wednesday, which means I got back.
Yeah, so it was what, five days later or 6 days later even came to yours for food.
Yeah.
And then...
Okay, so then last weekend...
Yeah.
I got back from Milan. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like this...
Yeah.
So that's when I got back, and then I didn't realize how tired I was, but that weekend was a write-off.
Yeah.
Then it was Monday morning. I got out of bed, made a coffee, thought it was Sunday morning.
Because we considered recording on the Monday.
Yeah.
And then we thought, no, actually, let's do food, no recording. Let's just actually catch up.
Exist. So that Monday of this week, I was literally sitting in my kitchen with a coffee, and I was like, oh, I'm so glad it's Sunday. Like I can't think of anything worse than imagine if it was Monday and something just felt off. And it was so lucky that I was up so early because I was like, something feels weird. So I just checked my phone and I was like, it's Monday morning.
Knew it. It's too good to be true.
And the thing about that is as well, in Milan, like I drank a lot too. I don't really drink. I don't really drink.
Yeah. Interesting.
Really? Like I don't drink during the week.
Yeah.
I will never be like, oh, I just fancy alcohol. I don't really drink. So in Milan, it was like a daily thing where it was like, oh, we're going to have dinner, then we're going to have drinks, and dinner and drinks, and dinner and drinks. Yeah. So there was alcohol quite a lot. And so my weekend when I came back and I got home I was just exhausted. And then I was exhausted all week as well. So like Monday I thought was Sunday. So we're already off to a messy start. And then like work was good. Things like that were good. Been to the gym a couple of times. That was great. I've been like destroying it in the gym actually recently. Like it's been, I don't know why. It's been great.
It's like a feeling yourself.
It's been great. I'm just trying to sweat out alcohol. Oh my God. So this week has been good, but again, just foggy. Like exactly what you're saying about being on autopilot. The thing about autopilot is I think I'm quite good on autopilot, but good's not good enough. So it's,
where does the spirit sit with it? Is it like,
it's not, like
are you doing what you want to?
No, I'm just doing stuff that other people would be like, oh, that's great. So from someone else's perspective, it's like I think my autopilot to someone else is still quite good. And so I remember being in lockdown and feeling like I was on autopilot quite a lot, and then be like, oh my God, imagine if I wasn't on autopilot right now, like the stuff I could have achieved by not being on autopilot.
Yeah.
Because the version of me that was just existing and floating through stuff was doing all right, actually. So then imagine if I just applied a bit of like direction to that and like became like creative director of my own existence.
Some intention.
Yeah. But this week that went out the window. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to cruise. And I didn't even try and fight it. This week I didn't even try and fight it. I was just showed up to work, did my thing. People I worked with were great. So it was like, it was very funny. Yeah. I don't really have a memory of last week though. Like I don't recall.
It flew, didn't it?
It just happened.
It just happened. That's what I mean. The only thing I can remember is just drinking wine and like eating biscuits.
Waking up and sleeping in.
That's what I mean. Next thing is Thursday. It's like, wait, I haven't uploaded the episode. What's going on? Uploaded. Like, I know I'm going out drinking tonight. I pulled in like the Thursday.
Wait, wasn't that the one thing I do remember is there was like some sort of football match that was on last week, and I went round to my brother's house and we watched it together, and it was so nice.
Yeah, that was I think Arsenal Man City.
Yeah, apparently it was a giant game, but I thought it was quite boring.
Man City were good in the game.
It was a regular thing. Does that happen? But do you know what I mean? Like, not really much happened. And then knew there's a bank holiday coming up, which was great. So like, did a market with my dad's. That was a lot of fun. Sweet. And then a friend that I used to work with, Isabel, shout out. She came around yesterday, and we were like, let's just do the bank holiday together. Let's just have let's just come around, have some food, catch up. Not seen you for ages. Let's just do that. And I brought back from Milan this bottle of limoncello. I don't really know what limoncello was or is, but the bottle was so nice. I need you to elaborate.
It's a bottle of what?
It's
lemon?
So we Googled it. It's lemon vodka. Just so much sugar.
You're keeping up with the drinking. You did say you're drinking.
Lemon vodka, so much sugar. That's it. That's all it is. It's delicious, but it's like 28%.
Yeah.
And I bought it because the bottle looks amazing. So I was like, yeah, that will do. So I just
cracked open that. You have a tendency of doing that.
I only buy alcohol for the packaging.
Yeah, I can't remember. What were we doing?
What do you mean?
No, I remember we went into Tesco and we just bought a random box. I think we're having a party at...
Did we?
I think Nima and Prince were hosting once upon a time.
Right. What did we do?
We drank quite a bit. I think it was a bottle of tequila. Sorry. Yeah.
If we're going to drink, make it tequila.
Yeah.
Sorry, the bottle will always be the thing that draws me in though. I don't know. Like I don't really know much about alcohol to be like, that's the good one. Just package it nicely and I'm sold. So yeah, we just drank a whole bottle of limoncello, a whole bottle of prosecco. We were like, neither of us knew what it was or how you're supposed to drink it. So we were just mixing it with like everything that's in the house. Just like, just put a bit of this in there. And like, what did it taste like if you put a little bit of...
it's fruity, so we're just going to keep chucking fruit in it.
Yeah. And then we caught ourselves, just kind of looked at each other for a minute and it was like, wasted, like really.
It's like, whoa, hold on, we're not trying drinks now.
When did this happen with this delicious drink? Like, at what point did this
transition?
So a lot of alcohol was consumed last night. It was a lot of fun, and then today I've just existed like a slob. But I think we had similar sounding weeks, but where they've differed is I haven't tried to fight any of this week. It's just kind of been like, okay, like.
Yeah.
Guess I'm not going to get around to that, or this isn't going to happen. I think I just allowed myself to just go with it this week.
See, I'm not sure if I'm out, but there was a comforting fact. I feel like completing something felt good. And knowing that, so obviously I was working on my car this weekend.
Yeah.
So that was penciled in for Saturday. So this is where my brain, I sometimes just do things so obviously went to Leeds on Friday.
Yeah.
Got really drunk, thrown up all over the place. Well, not sloppy slop. I was sloppy.
It was sloppy.
But the good thing is, like, I'm with the homie, so it's cool. So like, every now and again, get up from the couch, like, yo, 2 seconds, stumble to the bathroom, and then like, yo, John Ribena, like, dude, sorry, I don't do dilute, because it's just going to spiral.
Even in that state, I don't do dilute.
Yeah, because it's just going to spiral, just waters.
Yeah.
Have a bit of water. I shouldn't have tasted that dilute 1 second. So it was one of those ones. I'm sorry for the noises.
He's not.
I'm sorry. But yeah, so on Saturday, I scheduled to do work on the car. And I asked one of the homies who lives in this apartment, like, yo, can you help me out? Because he's got the tools. So yeah, he agreed to help me out. So we set a time, like, 10 a.m. So in the back of my mind, it's like, I am not missing this at 10 a.m. And at 8 o'clock, I was awake. And jumped in the whip. I drove back.
Did you get back in time?
Yes. And this was another one.
Actually.
That's another one now that me completing those little missions in between gets me back in my rhythm.
Yeah.
So that kind of helped. I don't know if I'm out of it now because it's only Monday, but I feel rather somewhat productive.
Yeah.
And this is another one that's gonna make me feel good because it's that feeling like I'm doing something and doing what I want helps. So me wanting to work on the car and me completing it, it's like, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Like, I feel good having done it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that was my way out.
Like not letting the future version or the past version of you, well, something that I kind of go to quite a lot is like so example with you and the car and getting that done. The past version of you set up that situation to like make sure that happened. And then there's the current version of yourself, which is living. And that current version of you,
in between.
Yeah, that current version of you can't let down the past version of yourself who set up that plan.
Yeah, exactly.
But
complete
also,
what you start.
if the current version of you lets down that past version of you, you're impacting this future version of you who then needs to reschedule all of this stuff and then
it becomes a habit.
Yeah, you have to like undo the work that current vomiting up drunk version of you currently doesn't want to do. And I don't know, that's just like I think I've used that for a while. It's like if I don't necessarily want to do something, then I just think, the future version of myself would be so great.
How would the future version of me feel about this?
Yeah, yeah.
And to be
if you
fair,
do this now, future me can just chill.
Yeah. Yes, that's where the future version me likes the... Sorry, I'm going to curse that. Fuck it, why not? We'll just find out.
Yeah.
We'll just find out. Once again, that's why I committed to Leeds. Because it just crossed my head like, you just got a new place. It would be nice to see you. I haven't visited you in a while. I'm going to come through.
Yeah.
Sick, nice. And then future version self's like, remember tomorrow. You got to be back
Don't forget.
And it didn't. And I made it. And present self feels good about that. So, yeah.
Because sometimes having those little markers in a week can just... Like if it's like, I've got to meet this person here, I've got to do this thing here. There's seemingly things which you're just like, I kind of can't be asked. And yes, you could just say no to them.
Yeah.
Which this current society is like, it's fine to say no and cancel on things and do. No, sometimes it's not for me. Not for me anyway. I'm just grateful that for my last week, which just sort of happened, like to anyone that I interacted with last week, apologies, I don't really recall. Like any of it. I don't know if I was useful or helpful or whatever, but I didn't have any of those markers in last week. So last week was just able to just free fall. It was like a free fall last week.
Interesting, yeah.
Because there was nothing
I didn't associate the two with actually having something.
There's nothing penciled in.
So it's just been autopilot throughout freely and without any, not that there needs to be remorse, but yeah.
Yeah, just absolutely freestyled it. And then this week coming up, which is hilarious based on your story with alcohol, there's going to be like this lingering cloud over the week, which I'm just going to try and just ignore that for a bit because, again, there's nothing else exterior that I'm going to pencil in. I'm just excited to see where this week goes. So future me is well excited for the week.
But see, I feel like now, this week is going to be interesting well, we'll find out about it at the end of the week
Yeah.
or whenever we catch up about how your week was. But it's the fact that this version of you is going into the week excited with intent into making the most of it, whatever that may be. So it's going to be interesting. I'm never going to try to preempt it because I don't know.
Just at the end of this week, like, it was shit. I did nothing.
Well, yeah, I mean, teachable moment. Like, I mean, feeling good. Well, like I said, a bicycle kick, I'm attempting this. I'm scoring loads of goals. Man. I was feeling my game. Like,
love that for you.
Just, yeah. But what happened after was just like, whoa. Whoa. We lost everything. Like, I didn't, well, I kind of did. That's what I mean. Yeah. I think the best highlight of it is actually, well, the summary is the fact that the episode was uploaded on Thursday.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we got it going. It was uploaded. I think you need to give yourself a bit of credit as well, because since Milan, I feel like I've just had my head off the ball. Eye off the ball. Head off the. What's the phrase?
Eye off the ball. Yeah, eyes off the ball.
Eyes off the ball for a while, where I'm just like, I need to just.
Because if you lose your eye, it might smack you depending on the direction.
There we go. And this week.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so I feel like you just giving yourself a little bit more credit is way easier to say than it is to actually do, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but I think you should give yourself, especially this week coming up as well. Like with a master, it's not even begun yet.
Yeah, but see, this is what I like about, I know I keep saying
things.
Going back to, but see, going back to what we just spoke about in terms of this week, I feel like now, having done this, I feel like I needed the vomit and to hear other frequencies. So it's almost like a cleanse, or like, well, I've said it before and probably I'll keep on saying it, there's an element of therapeutic feeling to this.
Yeah.
So therefore it feels like, oh, okay, maybe that's one of the other things that was missing. That goes back to me just reflecting on the whole scope. Like, wait, what's been different since then? So that's the alcohol, a few days missed from recording, process things, feeling myself being, don't want to say cocky, but like you know when you're feeling yourself.
Up. Yeah.
Like, it's like, you know what? It's like, I did that. So those 4 or 5 things were involved. And now I'm going to have a conversation with the ego, but that's continuous.
Wait, okay. So do you remember there was an episode where we talked about this, but like, are you writing any of this down?
No.
Because how you've just said, okay, so last week was a bit, basically in a nutshell, last week was a bit shit. It was all over the place. Cool. But for you to have been like, okay, and what were the elements that were part of last week?
Yeah.
That are like unfamiliar, the kind of elements that I'm aware of or have noticed. Are you writing any of this down? Because
no.
Okay. Maybe writing about it, and I'm talking to myself as well about this, but just looking at all the things that made last week kind of strange or kind of all over the place. That is what those weeks are for, and that's what those periods of time are for. Is for noticing the things which kind of went a bit doolally.
I'm gonna low key cheat, but go on. I'm gonna let you land first.
Yeah, because I don't know what you mean by cheat. But,
no. Yeah, go on. Sorry, I interrupted.
But like noticing those things means that in the next week coming up, it's kind of like, I'm gonna avoid that. Like I'm going to just avoid wine again.
Why do you think I said no to wine tonight after dinner?
That is, there we go.
I was like, nope, I'm going to have tea and water. I'm good.
Oh God, I went for wine as well. That's quite rare.
I'm still riding it out. Who knows?
I was like, what do they say? Hair of the dog?
I'll just have the red, please.
I don't know what this week's going to look like for me, but there's alcohol in the system. Oh my God.
We're having tea now, so it's okay. But
yeah, I think if as long as we notice the things that kind of went a bit shit, then it's not, you can't really write off the week. If anything, you just needed to learn some stuff this week. And before you're about to like end a chapter, literally, metaphorically, this might be a really shit metaphor, but I'm going to run with it. Like before a chapter ends in a book, it's got to be a fiction book at this point. There's always something which is just kind of like a bit off, which leads into the next chapter. So maybe like this month is coming to an end. We both had kind of hazy looking weeks where like a lot of things have happened or little things have happened, whatever. But maybe that's just like, okay, and then there's going to be a next chapter and all of that will make sense to this point here. But we have to just notice it. Yeah.
No, I do enjoy noticing it. And going back to you asked me to write down, like I have a couple of journals sitting there. I some of them have maybe a few words written, but Admittedly, I can't do it.
Not what I thought you were going to say.
Like,
Okay.
Go
on now.
okay. So what I mean is, I'll go in with cool. You know what? That's intent. I'm gonna write something. I'll just sit there with the pen, just looking at the page. Blank.
What, are you trying to write like a novel?
No.
Who are you?
Like no. Just write, and like even how the week was. Like you asked if I journaled or do I write any
Blank.
of these things?
No thoughts.
No thoughts.
Okay.
So that's why, once again, it goes back to me always having this disclaimer. It's like, when I'm talking to y'all, I'm actually talking to myself. Because y'all are just the triggers or the inspiration for whatever the thoughts might follow. Yes, I may digest them whenever outside, but writing them down, I just blank out. Because I feel like maybe it's also an insecurity somewhere. It's like, wait, how do I write it? Or I don't know how to articulate it when it comes to pen and paper. Maybe it's something that I need to learn, but that's neither here nor there. But what I was getting at is, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to record too, is because I do want to keep track of certain things or my brain or certain words that come out of my mouth, because they also, watching it back, holds me accountable to whatever I set out to do, going back to past self and future self. So past self, we speak about past selves and future selves quite a lot, and we plant seeds quite a lot. So this is my version of writing it down. So who knows, maybe one day I'll sit down, listen to the words I speak, and then I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that part down. There's probably a seed, actually. Yeah, that seed is planted. So rather than, because, I
quite like that, actually, because it's just, from my perspective, it's kind of a reminder that like it's not everyone's vehicle or vessel to use is to go right in for... Writing. Oh God, there is alcohol in the system still.
Sorry, I just remembered that.
It's to go for writing things down, pen to paper, because that's my.
That's your art form. That's your way of expressing.
And it's my art form too.
Mine is visual.
So that makes a lot of sense. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because writing stuff down, but then it is slightly different, because if I write things down, if I'm journaling stuff, which I'm really quite good at keeping on top of that. So I'll write like 2-3 times a week and just word vomit a lot of stuff down, because it's like I can't finish the thought in my own head a lot of the time. Like if I'm trying to think of something, I'll just immediately be distracted by like, God, this does look real.
That's right. That's what I'm about being blank.
But I need to feel it. So like the distraction is so real when I'm trying to think of a thought in the brain. Whereas as soon as the pen touches the paper, the first word is quite hard to write down, because it's like what I'm supposed to do, like dear diary. No.
And saying that I am
today,
I'm such a hypocrite.
Today is the first word that gets written down. Today was, and then it can even spiral out. It's like, okay, who do you think you're trying to be? Trying to start with today was. Let's just think about that. Let's just think about what happened this morning.
So essentially, you're writing the words that just come out of your mouth.
Yeah, it's like very aggressive. It's really aggressive. It's really rushed.
They might not necessarily articulate any main point or anything, but this is just. Don't want to say word vomit. But
but it is though. It is. That's what it looks like. It looks like word vomit, and I don't read it back, so I never ever read it back. I just have moments where you can just stop, and it's like, oh. That's what I was thinking, or that's why that situation made me feel like that. Or that's why when this person said that, that's why I kind of felt, because at the time, everything's so quick paced. Sometimes you can't process how you feel right in the moment.
Yeah.
But when you start writing it down, it's like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And sometimes I can look up here and look down here and be like, I totally see the connection as to why today felt really, really good, or why today felt like slightly
just like this
weird.
Week, we're kind of blaming alcohol for this week.
We're fully blaming alcohol for this week. And if I write about it, absolutely. But it helps me just to digest how this week was. And it also gives me a lot of stuff to be grateful for. So that's how I do it. And that's my form of doing it. If you're saying that because your art form is through a camera. So like if we're recording these things, it's different to how I write, because how I write is that no one will ever see it. That's the one rule. No one will ever see it. I don't read them back either.
Yeah.
So it's a really safe space to just try and get your thoughts in line with who I am. So that's what I try and do. Whereas if this is your version of it, because other people are watching it and other people are, do you feel like after these sessions you kind of also need another space to kind of
Digest.
Digest
Okay,
or think
so I feel like
say things
the
that might be
space.
not PC or might not be.
I think like after the episode, I'll go back and like after you bounce, probably just kick back, just silently medicate and just like think about the words some people said, and also reflect on the words that I spoke. And one of the main ones, it's where was it coming from? Because essentially, what I'm also trying to paint, not even trying to paint, or based on who I am, I don't necessarily dwell on the past. And I try to get the most out of the now, which is why I feel like the rhythm was off.
Yeah.
I enjoy the now and I look forward to the future.
Yeah.
As far as the past is kind of the now. I don't want to say it like that in the sense of I hope there's teachable moments now, but like I'm looking towards the future. So
so you're like anything that's happened in the past has led me to now. So you're combining those two things.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like, so whenever we're in the now, it's like, okay, what words did I say? What were those based on? Okay, so if they're based on that, how has my week been? Or because usually I'm able to bounce off my brain frequencies from talking to the homies.
Yeah.
Because the mask is off.
Yeah.
The mask is usually off. And this space is one of those ones whereby it feels like the mask is off. Whereas if, let me say, hypothetically, I was going to try sit down and have this sort of moment by myself and writing it down, there's going to be an element of, am I wearing a mask? Am I not? Not that I get confused when I'm on my own, but in terms of now, it's like, express yourself this way. It's like, ooh, how do I...
And it's kind of immediate, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when we're talking now, there isn't really time to kind of sit, think, and articulate properly. You have to react. There's a reaction.
There's a reaction to it, but then this is where who self is more so. Even for myself, when I watch it back, I kind of learn from myself. One of the other things is now there's certain phrases that I say quite often. I'm like, ooh, I say that quite a lot.
Yeah.
One of them being going back to. I say that quite a lot. And also another one is like. I say that a lot. So it's like also just learning from self. It's like, how you do that? Actually, no, let's freak it. Do it differently this time. Let's see if you can do it. So it's just like little wins for self. That's what I mean.
So funny because I caught myself before because my thing is 100%. 100%. 100%. And I don't think I've said it. I don't think I've said it now, but there was a moment earlier on where I nearly said it and I was like, what? Absolutely.
Yeah, let's break it. Let's introduce something new. Exactly. Because it's almost like the little challenges for self. Even it's a small win. A win is a win.
Yeah.
A win makes me feel good. Yeah. Not that I'm focusing on the wins.
Which is kind of beautiful, wrapping it back into like this week. It's about taking those tiny little things. Yeah. Instead of generalizing a week, we can't really generalize a week because what we're doing now is doing these sweeping things about how these weeks have kind of done this. But there are so many moments that we'll have had that we're not giving enough credit to. Yeah. But it's like, oh, I tried this out and this was just great. Or like, I made this coffee and it was bomb. Like it was perfect. Just anything that's absolutely
those
tiny.
Little wins, we overlook
the
them
sky
sometimes.
Today looked like this and it was just absolutely stunning. Or I saw this person. And sometimes we can do big sweeping statements and reflections on how a big block period of time has been. But the nuances are insane. And so there are moments when
teachable moments.
Yeah, of course. And we can find them in everything. Yeah. But sometimes the week just kind of has a bit of a chokehold on you and it feels like you can't see past. Yeah. Like, oh my God, it's Thursday. And it's like, what have I actually done to earn the right to be on this beautiful Thursday? Yeah. But sometimes it's just like, that was a really nice piece of toast. Yeah. You know what I mean? True. Like, it can just be some tiny things. But in the moment, like what we're saying about conversation and how reactive it is, it's really hard to just sit and be at one and be at peace with the moment you've just had because it's gone. Yeah. You can only really do that in hindsight. And that for me is why writing things down, you're like, oh yeah, that tiny little nugget. And then writing loads about that little one thing. And then that's just a nice window of time to just really reflect on the things that happened. Yeah. So if you like, I think it's worth a try. You should try it once and you don't enjoy it, then but just write with the knowledge that no one is going to read this, not even you. But it will help you to just think your thoughts more clearly and maybe just add a bit of like it's actually a really successful week rather than this maybe slowly spiraled.
So try finding the good things. No, to be fair, I feel like by trying to find the good things, I end up finding those things that kind of cause the hiccup by default.
Yeah. So you're not necessarily looking for the good things. You're just looking for the things for what they are.
Yeah.
Instead of everything was like, oh.
Yeah. And it's like, wait, so why do I feel this way today? Oh, what happened? How did we get here?
There you go. There's that sentence there. It's this moment here that then spiraled everything out of control because this thing that someone said maybe made you feel belittled.
It could be,
and yet the moment you didn't even realize it. But like I felt belittled there. And it's like, okay, why? Why
the domino effect from that now led to where I am. It's like, wait. Why am I letting all that dictate where we are today?
It takes the power off the memory of situations. Like I said earlier, my memory is shocking. And so I write things down just so I'm not fantasizing things or I'm not remembering stuff totally wrong. So if you write about it, it's like, oh God, I was so in the wrong there. You know what I mean? Like, but at the moment, in the moment, I didn't realize that was happening or that's how someone could have taken it. I just think writing is a really good way of
it is, to be fair. It's
comprehending the events of the day.
Yeah. No, that's another one I agree. To be fair, I guess that's another one to be fair. Damn.
No, but
see, there's a whole lot of them. But
100%.
like the interesting part is actually just like challenging yourself. Like, you know what? Let me just like freak it a little bit. See if can I do it without using that? Oh, I did it. The win is a win. So it's about appreciating those ones as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like the appreciation for those ones kind of didn't exist this week. Well, not that it didn't exist. I'm still grateful, but it kind of slipped my mind that I was in action mode.
Yeah.
Rather than, that's what I mean, that like the three niggas just lost their balance. And like this time it was just the body for some reason just took charge. And the brain is always like looking for the thrill. Like, let's vibe out.
No one's it, I'm out.
Like the brain was looking for the thrill and the body was like just wilding out. But it accomplished things, it did things. So
exactly. And you weren't on 100%. Oh, 100%. But you weren't operating on like this 100% using all of the three.
With all of them in balance. We're all in.
But the stuff that you did in this week is still amazing. Like, how cool is that when you think about it? Like, not even on 100%. But like, I've still done all of these things. Like, look at these accomplishments. Yeah, like it could have been better, but that's so cool. It could have been better.
Be nice to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even with alcohol involved.
Even with alcohol involved.
Oh, that might be a title for this one. Be nice to yourself, even with alcohol involved. But no, you know what? That's actually a great place to end it. Unless you got any more words.
I'm moving to London. I'm joking. Just wanted to see what your face would do.
Sorry. To be fair, earlier, whenever you mentioned Bristol, I thought,
Oh, Brixton. I do love Brixton. Brixton is
that a
vibe.
seed?
No, it's not. Not. But when I was there, I was like, oh, this is nice actually. But I ain't paying London rent. Sorry, I've really untangled how nicely the ending to this was going to be. I'm not moving to London.
No cutting it. What's been a song that's been?
God, I overreacted just then. So yesterday, me and Isabel, shout out Isabel. She's going to Glastonbury. So we were looking at the Glastonbury list.
Oh, right, okay.
And we were looking at like all of these, all the different people.
You just reminded me of concert adequacy. Remember we spoke about, if you're going to a concert, you gotta check out the catalog.
Yeah. Okay. So we went through this list and it was amazing because there was like moments where she was like, I don't know who that is. And I was like, what? You don't know who this is?
Yeah, that's
and there's moments when I didn't know who it was. So we did that last night and I've made this really cool playlist of just music.
Another playlist.
Another one. No, but this has all been added to the May playlist. But this is an old track, but Sedan Archives are playing at Glastonbury and there's a song called Come My Way. And it's so good. There's like a violin in it, which is just irresistible. So with like a belly full of limoncello.
Okay, I stopped myself from asking if there's a flute. I was trying, but
no, but you could replicate the song on a flute and it would be stunning. Yeah, the violin's played such a high key as well that it gives flutey kind of vibes.
Yeah.
So Sedan Archives, that song is such a bop. I think it's perfect for May.
Is it just like instruments or is it like...
No, there's vocals too.
There's vocals,
yeah.
All right, okay.
They're really mystical.
Repeat a rap or sing song?
Singity sing.
Okay.
It's really angelic. It's really but it's really hard hitting. Oh, it's so hard to describe.
Yeah, what? Yeah, actually,
But I'll
yeah,
put
like take
I'll
us
put
on
it
the
on the
emotional journey of
playlist.
it. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be on the playlist.
But yeah, it's don't know. It feels really, really feminine, but like all the variations of what femininity is,
which is
not just soft and sweet, but also like really hard hitting, and it's really
gentle and honest, somewhat.
But then also it's like there's like a bass to the track, which is just it's just sick. Like I just love it. I just absolutely love it.
No, I'll check it out.
Put it on the playlist.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've been listening to as of last night.
Yeah. No, mine. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of nows.
Nice. You've had a nice week.
Yeah, I've had a nice week. But yeah, it's a mastermind. Well, name of the song is Mastermind. Yeah. That song, like, I feel like, yeah, it hit even more on Saturday. Like throughout the week, obviously I was trying to find myself, reflect, and blah, 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 blah. But like, created even a little playlist too. Yep, I'm doing playlists. Yep, I told you, attempting something new, and I'm actually enjoying it. So this one is on what, maybe 55 minutes. Yeah, it's called Zen 2, as in like Zen TOO.
Zen 2, the second playlist of Zen. So your Zen playlist.
Yeah.
Zen 2. Why have you made a second Zen playlist?
Okay, so the first one is kind of violent and in the Carter. Yeah. First one is in the Carter. Second one is being intentional.
Oh, lovely. Okay. What do you mean? Like you're being intentional with how you're picking these songs, or the tracks feel intentionally put together?
Okay, so Zen 2 is almost like understanding Zen is beneath me. Sorry to put it like that. So
this is the evolution of Zen.
Yes, evolution of Zen.
When did you start making this playlist?
This week.
Oh, so shut up with this week. That's amazing. That's reflective. That's beautiful.
Maybe.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Maybe Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? The need for Zen 2? Getting
out of the rut.
Yeah.
So this one is almost like,
I'm
dusting myself off. The other one is like, is this where we at then? Cool.
Leading into it.
Yeah, basically. Then the
other
first
one playlist leans into how you feel, but the second one tries to pull you out of it.
Yeah, so the second one leans into the winning.
Yes.
First one leans into the whatever. First one leans into the mud. Second one leans into the wins.
Yeah.
So yeah, the track from that is Nas Mastermind.
How does it make you feel?
It reminds me to be intentional with what I do. And yeah, that's a.
Can't ask more than that.
I know. Usually, I always give short answers in terms of this one, but yeah, that's the only way I can put it.
Yeah,
it's like intentional. And so yeah, I guess it's appreciating the wins. Well, leaning more into the wins.
Yeah,
that's what the playlist is about. But yeah, Mastermind is a track from that. That's been playing quite a lot. Because I mean, there's other tracks in there, such as Wiz Khalifa, Rooftops. Like Rooftops is just about, the first bar of that song is, we used to not be allowed in the building, but now we're in the rooftops. So
I'm hearing you now. So it's a very well curated playlist of tracks to make you feel like, to make your back straighten up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you know what? I can sit up. Yeah, it's okay. I'm good. It's okay.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so that's
so I just straightened my back up then and realised that I don't know if I look like
sometimes I think about that.
Like while we're
sometimes I think about that. Like, we just always just hunched over, but I'm over it. Sorry. No, I just
don't give a damn.
Like, I mean,
yeah.
No, like I know it hits in waves. So sometimes I'll straighten it and then I'll go back, and so that's what I mean. I'm over.
If you time lapse the videos, maybe they just
bouncing, just wavy. But yeah, Mastermind. That was the track.
Share your playlist. I'd like to have it.
Yeah, okay. I'll send it through.
Yeah, and we can send.
I don't think it's it's not too ignorant. Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Before. But yes, thanks for watching. It's been real, unless you got anything else to add, or we
have a great week.
Yeah, have a great week, actually. Yeah, enjoy your week.
Really enjoy your week. Well, I've never really spoke into the camera like this before. Like, have a really good week. Oh my God, this feels well different.
Yeah.
And if you watched this up until this point, maybe like comment below. I feel like an absolute YouTuber.
Yeah, true.
Maybe comment about like how your week was. Like today's episode was kind of us just putting our feet back on the ground a little bit, because both of us kind of had these strange hazy weeks. So like if you relate to any of that, then comment and let us know. We will reply to you with like a whole lot of words. We're really interested into.
Doesn't mean we're going to reply instantly.
Yeah,
the intention is there, and we will.
Yeah, the love is real, but like you just heard about the weeks. We're all over the place, but let us know what your thoughts are on how your week was. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, by your people, peace, love, and wisdom, whatever platform you're listening on. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, nice.